Sam the Sourdough Man here, back again, switching gears now. I just made some pizza dough. Now I'm going to make some sourdough bread. So I'm gonna make two smaller loaves. Let's see, I need 480 grams of water. So we'll get this started. And I may be a little low on my starter, but that's okay. It just will take a little longer to ferment, but I do have my little bread proofer over there, which will help it ferment faster. So let's just double check the ingredients. Yes. 80. Look at that, 479.9.
So
am I good or am I good?
You have that on the scale.
Not bad.
Good.
I measured out the exact amount of water I needed. Okay, so now I'm going to put in the starter. So let me tear this. And I need 200 grams, which I don't think I have here, but I'll take as much as I have here and we'll go with that. So I used up a lot of this in making the pizza dough, so. It's definitely not, you're not going to be 200 grams.
What do you think it's going to be?
A lot less, but we'll work with that because it's flexible. As long as I can get all this out of here, because all I need is scraps of starter in here to make new starter. So as long as there's a little bit of bacteria and yeast in here, I can make new starter. So this is here. I'm at 150, getting there, but I'm not going to be quite there. But again, there's some flexibility in this. I will just adjust my flour and water content to match. Oops. 160. I say close enough. And try a little bit more. Get every little drop. Yeah, I think that's about it. So you can see this is pretty much empty. And we'll make new starter with this. Okay, and so now I'm going to take this and just mix it a little so that it turns into a milky substance. And so all I'm really trying to do is blend it so that the starter is not like clumped up and it all mixes, so it mixes better with the flour when I put the flour in. So I'll just chop this up a little bit. Okay. And we will let this sit for a minute and get the flour ready. So next, I need to tear this to 0. And I am going to put in about 600 grams of white flour. So I use the Costco brand, the Kirkland brand flour, which is really made from Central Mills ABC flour. And Central Mills puts it out as a bread flour. They label it as all-purpose, but it's essentially bread flour. And it's a very high quality organic flour. So this is what most of the sourdough bakers tend to use. Okay, so we'll get this to 600 grams. I'll use my bigger scooper here. And then I'm going to, in this blend, I'm going to mix it with a little rye and a little wheat, just to give it a little texture and flavor. So that's about 600 grams of this flour. And now I will put in 75 grams of rye, also organic. Everything's organic here. We don't do it any other way at Sourdough Sam. So let's see. We have 75 grams. Almost. And you can't make all rye flour, because if you did, there would be like no gluten structure in it, and the bread doesn't really rise. It's very hard to make sourdough all right. You can, but it's better as an accent, so I put 10% of that, and I'm going to put 10% organic wheat flour from Sunrise Mills, another very high quality flour. This is what I used in my pizza dough as well. So I'm going to do this. And the wheat flour also makes it a little softer, adds a little texture, flavor, but it absorbs a little more water, so you have to put a little more water in the dough to sort of balance it out. Okay, so here we go. All right, and now we're going to add this into there, mix it all together, and then I also need 20 grams of salt. So actually I will do that now. Let me get the salt. My little scale is missing. Oh, there it is. And I will add 20 grams of salt. It's good to mix the salt in with the flour so that the salt slows down fermentation, and it's not good if you put it in direct contact with the sourdough starter, the yeast in there, sort of kills it. But if you mix it in with the flour, it balances out and, you know, just slows down the process like it should without harming anything. And that's about 20 grams, just out of here. Love the scale, so precise. Okay, and so I'm going to put this in here, and then I will just mix this around for a second. Maybe I'll get a dry one. Just to blend it all together, so there's no concentration of salt in any particular spot. Also, it blends all the rye and the wheat and the white flour together, so this is always good. And then we'll just mix it right into there, into the water, and we'll get this going. Okay, and then this is gonna mix for roughly 7 or 8 minutes or so. I'll just keep checking on it. And then once it's starting to look a little together and looks like it has some gluten bonds where you could stretch it, I'm going to take it out and do a few slap and folds, and I'll show you that on the other side.